This is Below Natural. Today, we'll be stalking his Twitter because he does actually have some things in Tower Defense Simulator on his Twitter that are relevant to the updates of the game. Firstly, I don't actually cover Paradoxum Games job openings, but apparently Paradoxum Games is looking for new full-time programmers. I'll be posting a new hiring site towards the end of this week on Paradoxum Games. If you're interested in applying before the hiring page goes live, please email your resume at that email. I suspect it might be due to the upcoming game for Alter Ego, which I believe one of the contractors that made the name tags for Tower Defense Simulator has bratified in Green Brat, but yes, I think it might be related to that, but it could also be related to Tower Defense Simulator. And then on April 3rd, Tower Defense Simulator / Paradoxum Games Twitter said that our new careers page is live. We're looking for passionate developers to help us create amazing things, see if there's a role for you. Possibly in anticipation for the new Alter Ego game, which is not confirmed yet, it's just there. So, there is actually an update to the Paradoxum Games website where there's now a careers section. I mean, there's also updates to the shop section where there's also a review part here. So, fantastic item, Commander plush, we have them all, etc, etc. Plus, there's now a big banner at the bottom of the page that invites you to join the Paradoxum Games mailing list for new updates. So they have reworked their website a little bit. Now, as for the jobs page, as of currently right now, on the 12th of April making this, there's only 3 job types that are actually available in Paradoxum Games, that being software engineer for gameplay, software engineer for content, and UI designer. For software engineer gameplay, you have a required background in computer science or software development, bachelor's degree or equivalent. Compensation, $75,000 to $85,000 a year, currently available to only people based in the USA. Now, I would like to point out, yes, this is basically for university graduates, but I don't know how engineer roles work because I'm on the biology side of things. I'm a biologist. I have nearly got a bachelor's degree. In fact, due to some bureaucracy nightmare, I actually might have a bachelor's degree already, where that's weird. I'm not going to go into that. But bear in mind, I am 22, so that's the age range of people going for these jobs, basically over the age of about 20, 21. However, for content, $70,000 to $80,000, but no bachelor's degree required. You don't need to go to university. Familiar with one or more programming languages such as Lua or Lua, I don't know how to say it, JavaScript, Java, C++. I can use coding, but not these languages. $60,000 to $70,000 a year for UI designer. Okay. Then Below Natural asks on his personal Twitter, is there any way to assign a mesh's parts weights to bones in the Roblox engine? Not looking for Blender bone assignments, by the way. I have no idea what this means. Maybe something related to the skeleton. Otherwise, I have no idea. The people offering suggestions to him are, I guess, from developers. I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend like I have an expertise in Roblox development. I don't know what he's talking about. What I do understand is that PvP Test 4, apparently this is the 4th test of PvP, is out for 2 weeks. Help is to collect feedback. So yes, Below Natural, you have dyslexia. This is still not the full release of PvP. We're saving other features and polish for the actual release. So yeah, obviously, developers have said that this isn't the full release, and it's only going to be 2 weeks. Now, Below Natural has actually responded to some of the comments that have been made to the PvP test. For example, someone said that he got a level 0 teammate in 2v2 ranked PvP, and Below Natural has said that it's based on ELO ranks, not user level. ELO ranks aren't visible in this test, but the more you win, the higher placed ELO or the higher ELO you're placed in. So it seems as if Below Natural has kind of confirmed that there's an ELO ranking going on in the background, where if you lose too many 2v2 or 1v1 PvP matches, your ELO rank starts to get degraded. It would be nice to see what your ELO rank is, but I assume because this is testing that they're not actually showing what the ELO ranking actually is. Just that the higher your ELO rank, the more likely it is that you'll be paired with higher ELO ranks, and the more fair the matchups are going to be. So it's not based on levels, even though I'm paired with higher leveled people. Again, that's a symptom of the fact that higher level people are more likely to have a higher ELO ranking. I doubt that I'll be paired with someone that's level 0, for example, because they don't have a high ELO rank. Then someone made a response or made a long thread about how the balancing in PvP mode is kind of out of whack. Now, Below Natural says this is valuable feedback. Glad you're finding the new consumable options fun, I definitely think we should balance the shotgunners more specifically for this mode. Hopefully we'll nail these points by the next patch or open testing session. Now, the developers aren't actually alien to the idea of having PvP mode specific changes. For example, with the Pyromancer in PvP mode on the 29th of May 2024, they increased the fire rate from 0.25 to 0.3, thereby making the Pyromancer weaker in PvP mode, because the Pyromancer, let's be real, is like one of the best towers for PvP mode because it can hit quite a lot of towers, even though with the fact that it does have a limited amount of pierce. Like at level 0, it only can hit up to 4 enemies, but the fact that it spreads its fire around to enemies where it's not set alight means that it is actually quite an effective tower in PvP mode. Therefore, I anticipate in PvP mode there's going to be like a rebalancing of towers to make the area effect towers less powerful, or making single damage towers, for example the Scout or the Minigunner or the Soldier, more powerful. Because that is like one of the criticisms for PvP mode, is you're forced into a meta of splash damage towers only, towers that can pierce only, Shotgunner, Pyromancer, the Mortar, the Rocketeer, basically. All of those towers, because people send, and sending is the best way it's the best way overall in PvP mode to get your money up and to beat the other enemy, or beat your opponent, basically. Therefore, I need to stress that developers will probably need to balance out all of those things before PvP mode is fully released. Another thing that Below Natural said is that it responded to was that someone said that I think one neat thing to do is to notify the other person that the enemy is sending more zombies to their side, and say I'll look into this with my team. So basically notifications for when the other team is sending or when your partner is sending, basically. Now, back in March, someone said that they should re-add the Flying Minigunner. The Flying Minigunner hasn't existed in Tower Defense Simulator since about August or even July 2019, not even 2020. It's been over 5 years, or well, nearly 5 years, when the Flying Minigunner was removed. But Below Natural said that he'll consider re-adding it. Now, I'm just saying, this person's saying that it should be a Flying Minigunner skin, so it might be a different skin overall. But, of course, the Flying Minigunner won't have, like, immunity to stuns just because it's, like, flying, for example. It'll be like the Flying Minigunner back in the day, where its hitbox was basically on the ground. No way would they make a skin. Although, to be fair, I don't actually know. It could be like its own unique skin that costs like 10 billion Robux and has the unique property of not being able to be stunned, where they make the Flying Minigunner skin. But even in this case, Below said he'll consider it. It's not confirmed to be coming anyway. Furthermore, interesting news for the DJ Booth figurine skin, which I've made a video on it, but I don't know if it's going to release before or after this video. Whereas he's saying that the skin is done, the Daft Punk looking skin for the DJ Booth figurine is done, so we'll look into having it in a future update, meaning that they're potentially releasing the skin. I don't know in regards to what. I don't know if it's going to be like a code, probably not anymore, or if it's going to be like an ultimate skin. More likely, I think it's going to be an ultimate skin for the DJ booth alongside, what was the other one? It's the Mako DJ booth. That's the most likely option, given the fact that if we reach 6,000 sales, which we're nowhere near to reaching 6,000 sales, one of the options was having the DJ booth skin being an ultimate skin. That's what I think is likely to happen, given the fact that it's not going to be a code anymore. Then someone asked Below Natural to start accepting community skins. 90% of submitters and artists would give them to you for free. Below Natural says that a community workshop is coming soon, although they responded that Below Natural said this 2 years ago, saying soon. And then Below Natural said that expecting before or around summer, where he expects this like community workshop to happen. We've been making changes to our tower/enemy development pipeline recently, so we've had to redo the entire new submission pipeline. That, alongside how busy we've been with updates at our upcoming game, confirming that they are actually working on Alter Ego as an upcoming game. Now, this does also confirm a community workshop. Now, the thing is, we kind of have one already with like the community maps, but the thing is, community maps are considered like lower quality and restricted for some reason to private PvP servers only, which has led some people to say, oh, Area 52 doesn't exist in the game. It does, you just need to play it through a private server, and the problem is the community maps aren't actually advertised all that well. So there being like a community workshop where you can submit skins, where you can submit maps or whatever, yeah, this happened in the past, and even I've submitted a map which actually has made it to Tower Defense Simulator, but that's a rarity. Community stuff hasn't gone that far yet. So maybe by the summer there'll be like a whole system of where people can submit stuff for Tower Defense Simulator. Well, it's in regards to the fact that the developers have to approve it first, but you know, it could be hopeful that we get more community-led stuff, even though I'm doubtful. I'm still doubtful that it's going to happen. And Below Natural's actually updated his bio to actually include the fact that he's South Korean. Okay. Only because I realised that some people were calling him Chinese through his speech on the, what was it, developer conference thing? No, he's South Korean. Now, furthermore, on Discord, Below Natural has participated, rarely, with community engagement here. So, I don't know who mentioned it, but to answer the question, we have penalties for leaving ranked matches. We're just collecting analytics with the test to figure out what the penalty amount needs to be. So, it seems like if you quit a ranked match, there's going to be like a penalty. Now, with the ELO system, it probably means that you're going to get ranked into a lower ranked match, basically. But there could be a penalty in like coins or whatever, or leaving the game early. Now, the problem is, I don't know how they determine between disconnects and leaving the game intentionally. It is basically impossible to determine whether you disconnected or you left the game intentionally, which is why the rejoin feature is applied to all games, basically, even if you intentionally disconnect. So I guess with this testing, it's determining how many people disconnect and the proportion of people disconnecting and where they disconnect to determine what punishment it should be. But it does mean that probably for casual matches, there won't be a punishment for leaving, but then I guess the casual rewards, it probably won't be a casual reward, or if there is going to be a casual reward, it will be very minimal. Someone also responded that they should add a PvP rank streak, and if you lose or leave, you lose the streak. And then Below Natural says that he loves the idea and he'll tell his team to work on PvP win streaks. Now, this does mean that I nearly got a 10 PvP win streak. The only problem is they're not being tracked right now, so this won't contribute to the final release. Below Natural also says PvP global leaderboards for wins and streaks would be fire, so anticipate that coming around. And there could be a champion name tag on offer for the top 3 players for PvP global leaderboards for wins and streaks. Golden perks disabled for PvP only, right? Probably for ranked until you get to the top arenas. So, yeah, there've actually been community engagement on this. So, a tester said that a common sentiment I'm seeing so far is that people wish there was a mode where golden event towers and golden perks are enabled. So propose this setup: casual mode, low stakes gameplay, all towers are allowed, much less rewards compared to ranked. Then ranked, easy/medium, golden perks, event towers and gem towers are banned, and ranked hard, only event towers are banned, everything else is allowed. Other polls include initial PvP impressions, it's alright, 59%, the majority. And how often does your teammate leave the game during/before a PvP match? Occasionally, 43%. Very rarely, 15%, which is me. I've actually only happened it once where my teammate has left. All of the time, 13%? That's probably an exaggeration. Although, to be fair, it does depend on your level. So if your teammate sees your level, which I think should just be disabled if you're doing matchmaking, you shouldn't show your level, because then that would just encourage people to leave. Obviously, if ELO is shown in the game, it should show your ELO rank, but not your level, because that's just like all sorts of people quitting because you're level 0 who doesn't know anything, basically. It should be fair, although the fact is, in casual mode, you have your own towers. So, for example, if I'm a level 0 to the game, I bring the scout and the sniper. The other person may have, like, I don't know, the accelerator, which I doubt, but they could buy, like, the minigunner, the ranger, or stuff like that. Level tower, well, towers that don't have any levels, they can buy it through coins and basically boss around versus mode, basically. Which I think is a little unfair. I think for casual mode, the selection of towers should be every single tower available, which is what they're proposing here. All towers are allowed, but I don't know if that's like all towers allowed that you don't own, or all towers allowed that you do own. On Discord, Below Natural also confirms that ELO scores are currently hidden. The more you win in ranked, the higher your score gets. Right now, this is a testing phase where we're purely collecting data on its current balancing. On full PvP release, there'll be a full UI for viewing all your stats, PvP rewards, and more. So, it looks like there's going to be specific PvP rewards. And Below Natural confirms that we currently have stuff that is way better than name tags for the top ELO rewards. So, maybe separate name tags for top ELO rewards, but also something else.